I have just finished a degree, a Bachelor of Health Science, majoring in nutrition and psychology, and that makes me like a qualified nutritionist at this point in my life.
Winner.
Yeah. I've had an interest in nutrition since as long as I remember, before I even thought about veganism and that sort of stuff, or knew about what veganism was. I was definitely into clean eating. I tried really hard to eat the right thing that was good for my body. Always was a bit in tune with what made me feel good, and stay away from junk food. And I guess I was brought up pretty healthy in that, so I had an interest in it. That's why I kind of studied it at uni.
Brought you to veganism?
Veganism, I think I got into, I was vegetarian for a long time before that, all about animals and stuff, and the health aspect of it, and going into veganism, I went into it on raw food. I did raw for the first few months or so, and then I did bananas only and tried lots of different things. So I've definitely experimented a lot with my diet and gotten a real sense of what works for me and how it affects my body.
What do you think is the most common misconception people have about veganism regarding nutrition?
I think that protein is a massive concern for a lot of people. The practical side of it, and actually following vegan diet would be hard in terms of protein.
Where can you get your protein from on a vegan diet?
Basically, protein's in everything. I don't wake up every day and go oh, how am I going to get my protein today? Protein is in everything, and I think it's really important for people to understand that there's no food in the entire world, animal or plant, that's completely
protein based.
Have varying ratios of carbohydrates, fats and proteins. And it just depends. So a lot of people, I think it's a big misconception that people think that a steak is just a pure source of protein. Well, it's not. It's got heaps of saturated fat, cholesterol. Same goes for spinach. It's got a high percentage of water and fibre, which is carbohydrate, but then it's also got protein and fat, a very small percentage. And every food's different in that way.
What's the benefit in having high calories?
High calories basically means that you can do your life. You can do things.
Do your life.
You have energy to do things. When you restrict your calories, you're restricting your energy. Cut carbs, cut life. You don't have the energy to do things. And I think it's really sad because a lot of people, I've definitely, I came from a past of an eating disorder and cutting your calories and this whole counting calories thing. It's really sad because as soon as you start cutting your calories, you're cutting your life. You can't enjoy it. You need calories for your brain to think. You need calories to be able to do things, just go about your daily business. Even if you're sitting on the couch doing nothing all day, you need calories to function. Your body is constantly repairing cells, building new cells. It's growing your hair, it's your nails, it's keeping your heart beating. It's all stuff that we don't control, voluntary, but
super
your body's
important.
looking up. Do not cut calories. You just need to find what makes your body feel good, and it's not protein. The misconception that protein is going to give you muscles is just it's wrong. Protein does build muscle, and there is truth in that to some extent, but you can't just eat a really high protein diet and be healthy. You need carbohydrates, you need fat, and I believe that you need a whole lot more carbohydrates than is currently promoted as healthy. Carbohydrates fuel your body. They're the number one fuel source. You need protein, you need fat, but not hardly as much as you get told to.
Animal-based diet to a vegan diet?
There's definitely not a shortage of protein on a vegan diet. It's not a thing at play. So people get tripped up when coming to veganism is that you have to eat a lot more quantity to get the same amount of protein. But it's not lacking in protein. You just have to learn to eat more. When you come to a vegan diet, you have to eat a whole lot more to get the same amount of calories, but at the same time you're getting a whole lot more water and fiber. That's really good for you. Your body gets used to eating more. Your stomach actually expands.
Train your body.
The more you can. And now it's really bad because I can eat so much and never get full. But that's definitely something to be if you really want to transition to a vegan diet, that's something to be prepared for. And it's exciting because you can eat so much more. You just it's something you need to just train yourself to do. Peanut butter, hemp seeds, flax seeds, green leafy vegetables are really good, like broccoli and all that kind of thing. You just have to get used to eating a whole lot more of it. But like if you're eating enough calories in a day, I think that's the main thing. It's like, don't worry too much about eating so much of anything. Just eat enough calories in your day. If you have to track them and you feel comfortable tracking them without getting
obsessed
with it, you can comfortably track your calories to make sure not that you're eating too much calories but eating enough calories, then you should be fine. You shouldn't have any worries. I aim for like between 2,000 and 3,000 calories a day, just if I'm doing nothing, like more if I was like training really hard, or like
on
no
the go.
less than 2,000.
Is there anything you'd like to add about protein, Sarah? Or
just don't be afraid of carbohydrates.
carb up.
Carb up.